still think about how it all began. I had just completed a normal school day some 6 years back, and I went to meet a friend, and I saw this friend of mine watching the video just as I entered his house. As you would imagine me being young and inquisitive, I asked him what video he was watching. The video quality wasn't the best. However, I was fascinated by some words from the video, like the law of attraction, and though these words hit me, I didn't dive in immediately. It was only after some 9 months that I ordered some Les Brown CDs and books on Live Your Dreams, The Power of Being Purpose, and You've Got to Be Hungry. Oh boy, and there, I got trapped. Self-hate closed in on me. So I started scheduling, selecting my diet, playing football. I started taking my singing passion much more seriously. I followed so many gurus online, reading books after books after books, taking cold showers, meditating, visualizing my goals, reading affirmations to myself. I exercised more, I read more, I hustled more, and I was feeling ever more confident about myself. Everything was perfect. You got this, I told myself. You got this covered. I have everything figured out. At least, that was the perspective I wanted everybody to see. The word of self-hate helped change so much for me. However, I found some disturbing issues that hit me so hard, just like the words from my friend's video.
I hope this video serves as an admonishment to those of you looking to better or to improve your life. I had envisioned creating this project ever since starting this channel, and I'm so excited that I stacked up the courage to do so. So grab some popcorn and sit back as we explore the toxic universe of self-hate.
I'd like to thank you for leaving crazy person out of the description. So I thought, I was trying to think, what is the most useful thing that I could, what could I say that could actually be helpful or useful to you in the future? And I thought I'd perhaps tell the story of how I sort of came to be here. How did some of these things happen? And maybe there's some lessons there, because I often find myself wondering, how did this happen?
Big man, do you want more happiness? Have you had enough of having enough? Are you looking to improve your life? Do you want to change your current situation? Do you want to be liked? To have money? Do you want to be noticed? Do you want to prove them wrong? I mean the people that doubt you and don't believe that you can achieve something great. This is right where it all begins. At least it started here for me. I never felt the need to order Les Brown's books until my first year in high school. For some reason I found it difficult to fit in. There was this hidden sense of loneliness. Even though I had friends, I just wasn't myself. Everyone was thinking about what everyone thought about them, and it created this unhealthy desire to be liked by everyone. And I didn't like the feeling one bit. Enough was enough, I told myself. So I made up my mind to make some changes. And that was what led me into the universe of self-hate. And this is very important because many people tend to feel the need of self-improvement when they have some sort of dissatisfaction with their current situation. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It is very powerful to desire making some life changes, but the issue with this lies in your desperation. You can be accessible to some toxicity when you are in a dark place and you're looking to get out. Think about it. Self-development has a pretty soft touch to it, doesn't it? A universe of people looking to become a better version of themselves. A universe where people take charge of their daily decision. A universe where people make you think you're doing what no one else is and like you're making progress. You tell yourself, I figured it. I am going to walk while everyone is sleeping or having some social events.
That sounds great, doesn't it? Like if you just cruised your way right out of that dark place that you were just in. You've taken the bait, you've given in to the voices in your head, and boom, you become exposed to the traps that await you right ahead.
No one should put this many hours into work. This is not good. And people should not work this hard. They should not do this. It's very painful.
Painful in what sense?
It hurts my brain and my heart. It hurts. This is not recommended for anyone.
Make no mistake about this. Self-hate makes you feel much better. That uplifting spirit that I felt after completing the fine pages of every self-hate book that I read, I felt like I just completed the level of a video game. Like I leveled up. With a rise in motivation after every self-hate book that you read, after every self-hate video that you watch, there is a surge in dopamine brain levels. After reading or watching each self-hate material, you feel accomplished and incredible. So after completing each new self-hate book, I will go straight to Alibaba and order new ones. After watching it, I will then buy another one. After watching a self-hate video on YouTube, I will watch another one, and then another one, and so on and so forth. Let's look at the addictive effect of dopamine so you can see exactly what is wrong here. When you are addicted to something, it is not necessarily because of that thing, but it is because of what that thing does to you, to your brain. The surge in dopamine brain levels. That is what gets you trapped. And have no doubt about this, it is so easy to get stuck in the universe of self-hate. Planned or not, every self-hate material leaves you with an illusion after you consumed it. That illusion that you've made progress. You feel like you've achieved something greater after watching that video. Like you've accomplished something meaningful after reading that book or attending that seminar. Like you've done a productive thing. That feeling of accomplishment becomes a motivation and then an urge, driving you to buy more books, watch more videos, attend the next seminar. And if you will just take a second to pause and think about it, then you will find out. Not much, if anything at all, has changed. M.J. DeMarco, one of my favorite authors, has a concept known as action faking. In his books, he defined it as doing things that make you think you're making progress even though you are not. That urge you cling on when an important assignment is due. It is reading about a business but never actually starting one. It is creating a schedule and calling it a day's work. It is buying a business card instead of actually making the call. The concept is a form of procrastination that is outright lethal. You are tricked into believing that you are making some sort of progress. If you are watching this, then let this be your number one wake-up call. You don't need to watch every video on YouTube, or read every book out there, or attend every seminar, or listen to every financial podcast.
At some point, you're over-consuming and postponing the necessary actions that need to be taken. And sometimes this has some damn traumatizing consequences, some temporary motivation, an empty wallet, and a deep down in your gut realization that you've accomplished nothing. You made no progress, you've just gotten better at convincing yourself that you did.
You had that third failure in a row. Did you think, I need to pack this in?
Never.
Why not?
I don't ever give up.
But underneath the self-hate message, there is somebody making profits. Somebody is making wins. Somebody is catching out from your constant desire to purchase and chase for motivation or hope. The right question is, who? This might be new to you, but the self-hate industry is calculated to be worth over 13.6 billion US dollars, with an average yearly gain of 5.6%. In other words, people are catching out of it. Blogs, podcasts, online coaching, live events, book sales are some examples being used. How is this helpful, you may ask? I often think of how obsessed I was when I first ventured into this. With an admiration for some of these gurus, I will often consume more and more of their content, with some clearly topical smile on my face. As such, I never saw the reason to question their motives. I thought, surely these gurus were providing much more added value to the society even if they were making banks out of it. I mean, they were helping to improve my life, ain't it? Hold on. You can't have such naive thoughts about an industry worth over 13.6 billion US dollars. Think for a second. You being unsatisfied and unhappy is way more profitable to the industry than you being satisfied and happy, don't you think? I'm telling you the truth. The self-aid industry is counting on your unhappiness to get you soaked in. For you must be coming from darkness if you must desire light. In fact, the darker your situation is, the greater your desire will be for self-aid. And you become an average consumer of self-aid materials each time you read or watch a new book or a new video. You become part of the addictive self-aid fan base that is constantly urging the continuous production of self-aid materials. And you then take the bait of searching for the next big thing, a bait that boosts your consumer instinct. You start imagining that just one next thing and you've made it. The next secret to be charismatic, the hidden mysteries to financial freedom, the ultimate diet plan to lose weight, and so on and so forth. Your pockets keep emptying as you keep consuming until you soon realize that with all these things you are searching for, nothing actually changes in your life. All that is changed is you've become an addictive consumer of self-aid materials.
Let this be another wake-up call to those of you watching this video. The self-aid industry is relying on you not being satisfied with your life as its business strategy. I want you to start asking questions. Be more critical about your online goals. Ask yourself the actual value of every book that you read, of every video that you watch. I mean, do you really need to look into the mirror every single morning just to tell yourself a bunch of flattering messages? Ask yourself if you're consuming more and acting even less.
You know, you're not doing anything, and you're asking the question, hoping I'm going to give you some magical answer that's going to allow you to be motivated forever. But motivation isn't real. Everyone says this. Motivation is not real. Discipline's real. I do not feel like training, but I still train because I'm a disciplined individual. You don't get to go through life only doing the things you feel like doing. Do you know who gets to do that?
Women.
Beautiful women.
The amount of belief I had in myself skyrocketed in my first 9 months into the self-aid industry. I felt on top of the world. I could only look ahead moving on. I was re-energized, or at least I thought I had more energy. I couldn't sense the unhappiness anymore. I was a new person entirely. At least that's how I felt. I never wanted to go dark again. I was going to conquer the earth, I told myself. And by conquering, I meant becoming the world's best musician. It all felt real at that time. It sounded so realistic. But I'm telling you the truth, that's not the world we live in. There's beliefs and then there's reality. The universe of self-aid is quite vast, but it's even much bigger as a body. You're constantly listening to somebody who heard from somebody who was told by somebody that everybody was bound for success. But just like with all bubbles, there's often a burst, where my burst hit me when I started losing my interest for singing. Just like self-aid taught me, I had set up my mind to never give up. Singing was my childhood passion. As my interest for singing dropped, my beliefs dropped even deeper. I was going dark again, struggling to use the little I had left of what self-aid taught me to persuade myself that I could get my passion for singing up again. I was constantly going to and fro with getting my passion back because self-aid had taught me that quitters don't win and winners don't quit. But not just that, I was scared of going back into the dark place I had just emerged from. But that's the world of make-believes. It took me 9 months with self-reflection to realize that self-aid lied to me. I had to accept that giving up was an option.
Big man, I'm telling you the truth. It is okay not to be okay. In reality and in real time, there is always going to be difficulties. And I quickly figured that in this world where everybody wants everybody to think that they have everything under control, like they're always optimistic, like they never give up, the real things are realized in difficulties.
I am sick of reading shit on the internet saying, yeah, you know, some people are special and they take longer to bloom and your time will come. Let me tell you something. 99.9% of people who are born broke, live broke, stay broke, die broke. That is the reality for almost everybody. The internet and it's all going to come to you at the right time bullshit is fucking a psyop to keep you down. You already know the answer. You don't need me to tell you.
People change when they heard enough that they have to. People change when they hear enough that they have to. People change when they see enough that they have to. People change when they learn enough that they have to. I don't know what you feel about the self-hate universe, but I'll tell you what I feel. Sick. It is not the real universe. Whatever the rich say becomes self-hate, even if in most cases they are exaggerating. Even if Elon Musk was sitting around not doing much and suddenly one day learned a new idea, then became the world's richest man, if he now says he never slept for a single night and worked for 23 hours every single day for 365 days, you will still find people attempting such fiction and ending up having their lives worse off than ever before. The self-hate universe has got a new buzzword: hustle, and even now I am fond of using it. But of course, you're going to have to put in a lot of work if you're looking to dominate in a crowded market out there. The problem is, most people work hard for hard work's sake. Instead of working hard, you should try working right. Working right by working hard at the right thing. It feels great to call yourself a hustler, doesn't it? To post a WhatsApp or Facebook status claiming that you're hustling, like saying Bitcoin's needed, when you're just flirting with the concept and sounding like you're occupied with work even when you're not making any actual gains. But I'm telling you the truth. The people doing a lot more of action faking and procrastination are those posting and bragging online about hustling. And then you have people who step out every single day and try to put in actual work in their businesses. But there's also a problem to this. Working hard is one side of the coin. Working right is the final side of the coin. I figured there's two sides of working hard. Number one is working right. You could decide to write a book about poultry farming, but there's so many thousands of books about poultry farming out there, so you are not solving anyone's actual problem. If you might just take a break from hustling, you would have noticed this beforehand. However, you're too busy working hard instead of finding your own selling point or strategy. Number two is breakdown, which refers to a state of emotional, physical, and mental exhaustion caused by excessive and prolonged stress. It occurs when you feel overwhelmed, emotionally drained, and unable to meet constant demands.
Big man, the self-hate industry makes you think that you're working even when you're not making any actual progress. It makes you think that working hard is all you need in order to be successful. You get stuck in consuming one self-hate product after another, but I'm telling you the truth, it's a charade, a facade. In fact, the self-hate industry is counting on you not believing this in order for it to stay in business. Some of you may find this information highly contradicting and exhaustive, and so you may ask what you must do in order to stay active. While I do not have all the answers, what I do is that I sleep late and wake up late. I eat healthy, I play a lot of football, I meditate, I read a lot of books that are essential to me achieving my goals. And some of the best books that I've read so far is The Art of the Deal by the former US President Donald Trump and The Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. In these books, I never felt like they were trying to get me stuck in following their routine with constant discipline and an understanding that this may work or may not work out. Really helped me a lot. And so let this be a wake-up call to those of you trying to venture into self-hate. I hope you don't get stuck in like I did. Hold on. Do not leave just yet. I put a lot of effort creating this content and I really do enjoy doing so. This channel is new and I have a lot of documentary style content in stock for you. And so if you enjoy such content, why not check out my other videos? Hands down, to those of you who are used to the normal routine of like, share, comment, and subscribe, and though I do recommend all of these, I just want to take a second to say thank you for watching and see you in my next video. Heads up, capiche, hasta la vista.